You're live. Okay. Good evening, good afternoon. It is Saturday. It is a beautiful holiday weekend. So I hope wherever you are, you're having a great time. Hopefully, you're watching this maybe later on tonight, tomorrow morning, maybe later in the week. I just had to put this out because I've been watching a lot of great content, and there's so much stuff going on since July 1st. It's been like a plethora of hobby news and knowledge. There's even great stuff going on tonight. There's going to be an interview with Tom from, is it Tim Getch from ComC is going to be on with Jeremy at Sports Cards Live. I can't wait to watch that. I don't expect a lot. My expectations there are low, but I think I'll enjoy it. Again, I'm a fan of both. Like I say, I love Jeremy's channel and I love ComC. I use them both. So I'm not expecting much. I think you should have high views, and there'll probably be a lot of criticism about the ship time and all stuff. But I actually think Tim's a good guy. I think they're doing a lot of great stuff. I'm excited. What's up, Nostradamus? So I'm excited about ComC. I still love ComC. I will say I primarily use ComC for selling more than I do buying. So I guess I'm not worried about shipping stuff back to me. Also tonight, Breakout Sports Cards is going to be on with Jeremy at, I think, midnight in the after hours, which I'm super excited about that. In fact, I'm setting an alarm because I fall asleep that I wake up to catch that show. Because, again, I'm a huge fan of both Jeremy's show and listening to Breakout Card tonight. Yes, Groot, what do you need? So I do recommend that. But I want to talk about in this video today, in this live, and the reason I'm going live, a couple things. I'll be quite honest with you. Live is easier for me to do than to produce a video. I just feel like I can just go live. I can wing it. I got some notes here, but I like to wing stuff. And it also kind of keeps me in check. I think I'm better going live and taming the voices in my head that are like, I got little voices. Calm down, Ziggy. Calm down. So that's another reason to go live. So Nostradamus is here. Theodore, thanks, man. I like ComC. Never had a problem. Yeah. Logo card collector. Hey, good evening. Okay, so here's what we're going to talk about tonight. I'm going to give you some comments on the acquisition, right? The Nat, the Golden. We're going to talk a little bit about that. That's just hot news. I can't wait to talk about it. I've just done so much more research and listened to so much more stuff. And it just got me thinking to myself, this is just too cool not to talk about tonight. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about set registry. Okay. I mentioned this earlier, and it kind of is going to dovetail in the whole conversation with PSA. But I really think, guys, I'll also say this. Look, I've been actually approached by a few people about, helping with business and sports cards, and I've turned it all down because I really like this as a hobby. But this set registry IDs really got me thinking. I really, really, really think this could be cool. And I think a lot of companies could do this. And I think even what Bobble said the other night, maybe you don't even need to have a company to be a grader to do this. Maybe you could just be a company that puts together the infrastructure that provides an ability for you to register your cards or slabbed and gives you a rewarding and a scoring system. So the registry idea I think to me is huge because, and I'll talk more about this anyway. We'll talk about registry. By the way, do you know Panini might get bought? That Panini is like apparently shopping themselves around is the rumor I heard. And I'll give you the tape on that. It's a rumor because I didn't hear it directly, but I heard from somebody else that Panini is being shopped around. That is a game changer. Think about this. And let me just comment on this. Everybody's like, oh, all this money is coming in the hobby, all this investment money. What part of it is people have been in the hobby for a long time. And if you've done your research, a lot of these guys have been in the hobby for 25, 35, 40 years, right? At the same companies. They've been at Upper Deck and they were at Tops and they're at Panini. They're in the industry for 25 years. They're friends. They know each other, man. It's like a fraternity. They don't hate each other. They cooperatively compete, okay? But they've never seen the hobby like this. And while the dot-com era happened and the real estate market blew up and the crypto market blew up, this is their opportunity for them to cash out. So Panini, they're going, yeah, sure. What do you think Panini would get for a valuation? I'm going to say $2.5 billion, easy, in my opinion. And I'm just guessing that because I think they're easily 2x of what Topps is based on Panini's license with NBA and football alone. I think easy. It's fair to say they're 2x the valuation. I'd love to get your thoughts on that too. But I just think Panini. And again, we'll talk about this at the end. I got some thoughts on Panini and where we might see the future. So let me see some other notes. Another thing I'm going to close on. Another topic I'm going to talk about tonight. I think more now than ever is an opportunity for some really good change to happen. Okay. And I know we all love the hobby in different ways, right? And what I mean by that change is I think we need the users, the hobbyists, the participants, the buyers, the dealers, whoever it is, the people who care about this hobby, to unify and either self-govern or request govern or provide some guidance and some rules of the hobby as we move forward. I think that's the minimum we could ask. And I'll get to that argument as I go through this story here in a moment when I start with the first part. This is kind of my outline tonight. So, and I look forward to comments and questions as we go throughout this. What else am I going to talk about? Okay. And let me ask you, I'm going to leave with a question. A question I'll ask you right now, and I'll ask you later tonight too, is that knowing what you know right now about the hobby in the last, let's say you've been here for 12 to 18 months, are you proud of the last year in the hobby? And maybe it's, I want you to understand, not that, are you happy with it? Did you make money? I mean, are you proud about it? Are you like, man, this is like, I'll put it this way. Are you going out and recruiting friends to get into the hobby? After what you've seen and gone through in the last year with the market, whatever it is, the stories you've heard, positive or negative, just, with all the stuff going on, are you proud of it? Are you like, yeah, man, I'm getting people in? Or are you just kind of like, I don't know. I'm just, because right now I'm not proud of where we are in the hobby. I'm kind of ashamed of some of the stuff, but we'll get to that later on. Okay. Let me get back to the beginning here. Let me just say hi to some of the people. We got Theodore. Let's go. Beat the house, sports and politics. Ooh, I like that. Beat the house, sports and politics. I'm going to have to follow you, man. Those are two topics I love to talk about. Okay. So let me start by saying this was really inspired by, I was listening to Luca Nation today, and it was actually a podcast I listened to the second time. I listened to this earlier, I think on July 2nd. It was the July 1st one on the Big Hobby News. And then today, while I was in the car, I had time to listen to it again, and I gave it some thought. And they were talking about a whole bunch of things. And they were talking about, Cage went over a whole bunch of examples and scenarios that he thought could be concerns in the hobby. And the one example he gave was what he called the uncle example. Like your uncle dies, and he has a bunch of ungraded, raw, great sports cards. What do you tell him to do? Well, right now, you simply tell him, dude, call up Ken Golden at Golden Auction, and he'll get those things, probably fast tracked for you on PSA grading and get you guys sold an auction grade price before you get the best return for you. You see that? You see how that's not a bad thing to say or do. It's a great recommendation because Ken would take the raw cards. He'd look at them and go, wow, we can maximize the value if we get them graded. Hey, you know what? I got a friend at PSA. We can probably get you on the walkthrough price at $700 a pop plus the valuation. We'll get you these things graded quickly, right? And you'll recoup that in the auction price using my auction. Maybe there's a kickback. I don't know. Maybe they cover the fee for you, whatever it is. But that's a one-stop shop. Okay, group. Don't tell Sandy that happened. Now go lie down. That's a one-stop shop, but it's an example of a very, very strong competitive advantage that has just occurred with the PSA Golden Auction thing happening. I'm sorry, Sandy. I don't have any more for you. I cheated you. And I don't know why others don't see that as being a concern. Is it a concern or is it a consumer advantage? And that's what Cage and I think it was Andrew talked about, how it's a consumer's advantage to have that. But what it does is it stymies CGC or CSG, or the company that just got bought by Blackstone. That company just got bought for $500 million, right? Now, their slabs currently are not auctioned on Golden Auction. He doesn't accept their slabs. Is he likely to accept them? Right? You'd assume there's a bias. And are they likely to run to him to do their auction now that they know that he's part of PSA? Do you see what I'm saying? Same with the HGA and the new hybrid graders and the new custom graders. They're all kind of right now currently not on the Golden, wish list, and Golden's not going to do it now. And what I would argue, you're like, Ziggy, you're probably saying, well, Ziggy, they don't deserve to be on it. They're flim-flams or whatever you want to say, whatever critiques you want to give me. But here's what I'd say to you. I wish I had the money to go out and buy like a very expensive card and slab it in some freaking anybody I like to slab, right? And then put it into a Golden Auction. Will you auction this for me? And see if they say no. Like if I put it in an HGA slab, you think they're going to say no to me? If I put it in a pure graded X slab, you think they're going to say no to me? Especially if I put it in a wicked ass pure graded X slab, all tatted up and cool slab and everything, customized, something really, really cool that was a very unique card that was expensive. And I said, Golden Auction, I want you to sell this for me. You think they wouldn't? Well, now they might not because of PSA, right? Or maybe they're more likely to. I don't know. But Here's another thought I thought about. Even if we're wrong about this concerns, don't you think all these other companies are now more aware? Don't you think these other auction houses now feel like, shoot, man, Golden just partnered with PSA. What do we should be doing, right? It causes a reaction in the market. It causes a defensive posture in the market. And who's going to get hurt in all this, in my opinion? I don't know. I would argue the consumer, but I don't know. I think as Cage and Andrew talk about, when you at certain point there's this like convenience, like when Walmart first came into your neighborhood, you're like, well, damn it, I can get my groceries here, I can get the garbage, I can get the dog food, hey, I can get the tires done. It just was convenient, and for the consumers, it's great. It was cheap price, but for everybody else outside, man, it just decimated it, right? You know, so is that what's going to happen? Are the consumers going to find these one avenue for their sports card adventure? Right. And let me give you an example. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. How much is a 1986 Fleer box cost? Basketball Fleer box. Anybody know? I don't know. I do not know. I don't know. But I would wild ass guess a couple $100,000. And it's assumed I think there's 3 Jordans in there, right? So what about this? Why wouldn't you, if you had the money, buy one of those, publicly say, hey, I'm going to buy an 86 Fleer and break it on my channel. And then whisper in Golden Auction's ear and say, listen, Golden Auction, here's the deal. I want you to tell Mr. Golden, here's what I want to do. I want to be on your TV show. Promote me ripping this box in your TV show. We're going to rip it. We're going to rip it packed fresh. As we rip it packed fresh, we're going to sleeve them. And then Golden Auction, we're going to hand it to PSA, and they're going to fast grade it for us. We're going to do the walkthrough grading. And then when they come out the door, we're going to put it on Golden Auction and sell it right away. How many of those Jordans do you think would come out of PSA 10 in that scenario? If you're doing it public on TV, you're going packed fresh to a sleeve, to the PSA grader, to Golden. And what I mean by that is it comes down, there's a human wizard involved right here, right? And what wizard do they pick? What wizard does PSA select when this card makes it over to them? Go, hey, look, man, Frank, you need to grade this card, dude. And the whole world is watching right now. Yeah, take your time. Think about that. Think about that. Let me take a second, look at these comments and get something to beverage here. I absolutely agree. It's not a stock market. Absolutely agree with you, man. I like that, Henry. One of my concerns is we see private equity groups or real estate investment trusts or companies like Dick's Sporting Goods and buy up hundreds of local card stores. I don't think that will happen. Because let me explain to you, it's not the stores they want, it's the product they want. Okay? It's not the storefront, it's not the space, they don't want the overhead, they would want the allocations. What you should be worried about is if Walmart decided, hey, you know what? We want to start selling Prism hobby boxes, and we're going to compete for allocation, and we're going to put it in the stores. Right? Because it all goes back to there is a finite print run on every product. There isn't an infinite amount that's made. And I'll just give you a round example. If there's a product, there's 1,000 boxes made of it, 1,000 cases made of it, and I'm going to give out allocation of those 1,000. It's a highly wanted thing. Let's say it's NT. There's only 1,000 potential distributors that could get one case. Right? And if Walmart steps in the game and says, look, we're going to buy, boom, this much stuff. We want 50 of those or 500 of those cases. We want half the market. That's game changing. Right? And I will say, I'm going to get to that at the end of my video here, because I think we're going to see a change like that coming. Like we're talking right now on July 3rd about PSA and Golden Auction and the potential it could be. My bigger potential is that I also look at what's called the slipping slide, slippery road, where once one thing is accepted, another thing is easily accepted. In other words, if we as the consumer market look at this, I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm not that worried. And be honest, they do self-police and they're not going to do anything, but they at least recognize there's a potential conflict of interest. It justifies someone else to do something that could look equally as ominous. Is that the right word? And or dubious, and then actually do something. And again, I'll give you some examples at the end. So, but that Dick's is think about Dick's getting allocation to Prism or to NT. It's supposed to be disposable income. None of those YouTubers say this. I've been drinking this afternoon, just not too much though. Shh. Lots of card shop owners are near the retirement age, so they're cashing us. I agree. I don't disagree with that. In fact, it's going to be interesting to see how many of those dealers here. Like, I think National will be a lot of sellers, because I think a lot of the dealers that are there are not the dealers that are new dealers. They're long-term dealers, and they've got this product going, yeah, dude, I'm going to sell. I'm going to cash out. They're looking to make big money off this National this year, right? They've already sold out the VIP passes. I think that's a very good point. 20,000. I forget what that's in reference to, but 20,000. Oh, 20,000 cases. Okay, yep. FOK's auction. Okay. So another example. I followed me on the 86 Fleer, right? If I have an 86 Fleer seal box, that's the way I'd open it. I'd open it on Golden's TV show, and then I'd have him fast grade it for me right at the PSA store. And then as it came out, I'd go right to the Golden auction, be one-stop shop, and I'd negotiate some. You're going to put it on your show, so I'm kind of getting a show price discount, graded fast. And think about the guy who's got to grade that card. I'm betting that's come back at least a 9. And I'm thinking if you get 3 of them, and I think you're getting one of them's going to be a 10. I think if that's the best chance you have of a new Michael Jordan 10 popping up, is if someone does put it under that much of scrutiny, where PSA looks and goes, yes, we're going to give this a 10. Bum, 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 bum. Big movie TVO. Like, I could see that happening. So that's what to do, guys. If you have enough money to buy a sealed, certified 86 Fleer, do that and contact that circle and get that thing going. And you know what? I think that's a great way to do it. The other example is I talked about HGA and CSG. They're kind of blocked out. How are they going to get in this market? Will they partner with somebody else? I don't know. I think this also helps. I think this helps a lot of people look at PSA and put them under a lot of scrutiny. And this is where I'm going to talk about. I know what to talk about. Here's another way they could tinker with the system. If I am Golden Auction and you look at right now, in fact, not Golden Auction, if I'm PSA, if you look at the top 10 slabs right now in value, like the Trout, I think some of the Jordans, most of them, I believe, are in BGS slabs. When you think PSA slabs, you're thinking, I think there's the Mickey Mantle, that's a PSA 10, correct? And then you've got Jordans that are PSA 10s, that they kind of get a lot of value. But when you think of rarity and like rare patches and $1 million cards, a lot of them are BGS slabs, right? So could you imagine if PSA offered like a crossover program, right, to the big slab guys? Say, look, for anybody out there with the exquisite RPA Jordan or exquisite RPA LeBron to 99, crossover to PSA, and we'll sell it for you. And if it crosses over to a 10, we'll sell it for you on Golden Auction, right? Think about how enticing that is. You would actually crack the BGS. You have them come in, and the PSA guy would come out and go, yes, we believe we can cross this over. And they'd go into a room and crack the BGS slab, and out would come the BGS slab on the ground, and doom, brand new, fresh PSA 10 low pop, because I don't think there are a lot of PSA 10 exquisites, right? And then it sells in a Golden Auction. Boom, PSA takes one of those top 10 spots. That's wicked. That's great marketing, by the way. PSA, Golden Auction, you guys listen to me? And I'll say this right now. What I'm talking about, none of this is illegal. Anybody could do this, and it's not even wrong. In fact, that's a good business move, right, man? If they were to basically offer crossovers to big BGS cards and say, look, you got a BGS Jordan, bring it to us. Let's see if it crosses over to a PSA 10, and then we'll put it on the Golden Auction, right? You're going to get the best value. If you want to sell it, you got to, like, if you, like I said, if you have a 9.5 BGS Jordan 86 Fleer, that's a great opportunity. Crossover to PSA 10, sell on Golden Auction. One-stop shop. Devious. So look for that. Look for the top 10, and let's see the top 10 change. How many, and someone should track that. If anybody knows that, are the top 10, how many are BGS? How many are PSA? What is number 1? Are you going to tell me it's the SGC with the Mickey Mantle card? I mean, the Babe Ruth card that's in, the Babe Ruth minor league card that someone's selling a piece of? Does that count at $6 million? It doesn't count to me. And isn't that an SGC slab? I believe it's an SGC slab. Okay. Moving on. Let's talk about what's going on with PSA and the whole market, in my opinion. I think right now, again, is a phenomenal time for a set registry program. I don't know much about the PSA set registry program. I was looking into it probably about maybe over a year ago, maybe less than a year ago. I know I watched Mike, baseball card collector, talk about it, and he really inspired me. I heard about it before. I checked out the website, and what I really like is you kind of compete. So it's like you and your friend or other people can compete to collect the set, but also you compete based on the grade you get in the set. So if you have a PSA 10, it's higher than a PSA 9, and someone has more PSA 9s and 10, then you have a 110. You know what I'm saying? You great scores. And again, I'm thinking to myself with subgrades, why would that make it more competitive? Like, why has BGS not just done a set registry? I don't understand that. What is stopping somebody from doing this? And as I was saying earlier, what doesn't stop somebody as a company just to individually do this? Just set up a virtual registry system where, look, you can basically register your slab. When you get your slab, you send a picture, you send the serial number, you enter your information, and you put the grade of it, and you are given a score, okay, in the registry. And as you complete the set, you win a challenge. Just like in the NFT world, you win a challenge. And that challenge can be something from a sponsor, right? So if I'm building this company, so people listening to me, let's go ahead and get this company idea going in the head. I basically, look, guys, I'm going to provide a platform that's going to encourage people to slab their cards and create and to complete these sets. And the sets will be the following. I want to put together all the rookies from, the Prism 2021 set. Prism rookies slabbed. I don't know, there's 50 of them, right? And I don't care what slab you use. Well, I do care what slab you use. It's got to be one of the following registered slabs. But you let every slab company register with you, right? You open up, you encourage them. You go to Pure Graded X, you go to BGS, you go to PSA, you encourage them all, hey, to register with the set registry. Even when they ignore you, like PSA will ignore you, you still accept the PSA. But you open it up to everybody because all you're basically doing is keeping track of the fact that the owner has that slab to complete the set that's in question with a score of the grade, okay? Now, there's a room here to NFT this, okay? You could NFT this as well. But for the beta, we're going to say we create a list, and then there's a challenge, and you win something in the challenge. And then what I do is I go out to some partners and go, look, let's give these people something. Maybe they get a year subscription to a data tool. Maybe they get slabs from some slabbing company. Maybe they get breaks from a breaker. I don't know. There's things we can give people. Maybe they get boxes, whatever it could be. But my point is you could create a really cool community, just a registry system, right? To get people to compete, get collectors to collect. And what's cool is that you could put some really low sets together, right? You can make some kid sets. You can make some kid-friendly sets, right? Like base Pokemon sets people could collect so that it could be more hobby-friendly, right? And give rewards for people to do that. Kid gets this and you send them a blaster box from Pokemon or whatever it might be. But does that sound good? Thoughts, opinions? Am I missing something there? I just think the set registry idea is so missed as an opportunity. Again, if I was BGS or one of these companies, I think they could execute as well. But right now, why don't we do a virtual one? Who's with me? Who's with me? Maybe we should think more about this. I have some ideas, and again, how we can put this together. I'm going to pause. I'm going to take a look at the questions, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about Panini up for sale. Panini up for sale. Panini up for sale. Let me check the comments here. I just saw card currency. I actually tried to contact Dick's about sports cards last year. Really interesting. I bet you they're probably listening to somebody now. I can see eBay buying PWC for the #1 sign by far. Interesting. Well, it's interesting you say that. I've got a pick at the end of the show. It's on my notes right here. So I've already written it down on who I see buying who in the future. And this is going to blow your mind. Blow your mind. Mind blown. You're going to like this one. Okay. And what I've realized is I need to stop thinking about the hobby as a hobby and really start thinking of it as a sports card marketplace. Right? Like almost think like the internet back when the internet was new or cryptocurrency. Just look at the opportunities there. Don't be so hobbyist about it right now. Just look at it as a open. The business part of this is amazing. Okay, I'll get back to that. So let me check more. Okay, I can see that. Next comment here. These private equity firms have such cash they don't want to do it. I could see that. And again, they're buying platforms. I don't see them buying the cards. I see them buying in the platforms. And I will say, one of the concerns I have is I think the market lags the consumer in this market in a very hyper sense when it comes to COVID. We had hyper hit of consumers to the market, and the market couldn't react fast enough. And then when the market did react fast enough or catches up to what the market demand is, the market continues going upward, thinking that demand's going to be higher than it really is. And I think that's where we are now. The demand expectation for this next 12 months is higher, in my opinion, than the demand can consume of what will be out there. And I think in 24 months, you're going to see challenge in the distribution in the channel again, where they're going to be forcing you to buy products to get access to other products. Back to the old days. It won't be about allocation based on dollars spent. It'll be allocation based on, look, I got boxes sitting here I can't get rid of, and you're going to have to buy them if you want to get the other product. Because there's too many products being made. There's just too many products being made. And consumer demand is not that high, not for all these products. Okay. This isn't your early 90s hobby. No, it is not. I agree with that, sir. I sell retail products, but internet sales half the items of my wholesale price to anyone. It's a killer for storefront brick and mortar stores. Wow, that's interesting. Very interesting. Thanks, Henry, for sharing that. Show where you were today. Oh my God. Cohen hat. Net. Don't kid yourself. I want to control the high-end part of the hobby. The hobby is just expensive for the average share. Sorry, Panini. But I'd rather spend my money on the essentials. Yes, eBay breakers, million people every day. I feel you, man. I feel you. Basically, shakedown, high-end stuff. In BGS, they don't like this. Ray from Philly is always doing the PSA set registry. He knows back and forth. And I like the PSA set registry. I wanted to do the PSA set registry. Mike from Card Collector is a PSA guy. And again, he doesn't necessarily like the company. He likes the set registry. I understand that, man. But if you can create something that's better than that, why wouldn't they cross over? Maybe you could lure them away. And I would love to sit down and maybe I'd ask him like that. And Mike, what do you like about the PSA set registry? Anybody else in it? What do you like about it? And what would you want to do to make it better? And you could just, dude, it's not patented, right? There's no patent protecting it, is it? Hello, Tom. Thanks for joining. Pokemon. Set registry just for clout and leaderboard. Yeah, exactly. For clout and leaderboard. In fact, that's it. Maybe you give NFT packs to people for accomplishing stuff. Like I said, there's so many reward opportunities here. Cards are just investing in assets of players earlier in career popularity. I agree. You're right. It is a popularity investment. I think it's a good point. Okay, so next piece we're going to talk about. So let me pop over here. We're going to do some sharing. Sharing time. Oh, it's sharing time. I hope I share the right stuff here. Nope, that's the wrong one. This one over here? Yes. Okay, listen to this.
Out there, and it would be great to see it updated. So are they going to ever make that investment? Tough to say. Because the current ownership group, we don't know, it's speculation, but why haven't they done something yet? And maybe it's because they just don't have the funding. That's kind of where your head goes. So without new something, whether it's money, ownership, I don't want to say management because I think Jeremy Murray is a wonderful person, and and I'm sure he wants to see this thing be as good as it can be. But are they ever able to realize their potential at this point without an injection of capital? We just don't know. But Ken Golden did mention last night that he 100% guaranteed that this is not the last domino to fall. There's going to be more sort of M&A activity that's going to happen. We're going to find out about sooner or later. He mentioned that Panini is shopping itself. He said, I'm not under an NDA, so I can say this. Panini is shopping itself. So we are.
Did you guys hear that? Panini is shopping itself. It's just not a thought or a rumor of me pulling this out of my hiney. He heard that from Ken Golden, who specifically said he's not under NDA. So he must be sitting in a room where he's like, Panini's for sale. Really? What do you think they want? They want $4 billion. Really? $4 billion? What do you think they'll get? 2.5. It's not going to surprise me, dude, when Panini gets bought. Think about that. That's going to be big news. Panini merger. And Panini, Nate, PSA, Golden, is that a foul on the table? I mean, is that not the ultimate infinity hobby stone? Remember that meme that James did, which is a very clever one, very cleverly meme. That is just awesome, right? Think about that, guys. So I will tell you. So if that happens, right, I'm thinking Panini, PSA, Golden. Then you're going to have Topps Beckett, and PWC, right? And then you're going to have, here's the bigger one. Then after that happens, after Topps and Beckett join forces, and you're like, yeah, or you're like, oh, it's like, I don't know, maybe you're or I don't know. It depends on how you look at it. You might like Panini more. I don't know. Panini, maybe I just go sell out and become a Panini Golden PSA guy. I don't know. Team Panini Golden. You just get, and then eBay, SGC, Upper Deck. Boom! Mind blown, right? I mean, think about that. eBay just goes, you know what, man? I'm just going to buy Upper Deck, and I'm going to buy a grading company. And boom, I got it all. I got the marketplace. I dominate it. I dominate the data. I am the marketplace. Take that world, right? And then they take a great product like Upper Deck, and boom, they can slab it with SGC slabs. Boom, SGC and Upper Deck already had a partnership. I'm just saying, can you see this coming? And you have then you have three monopolies who basically then each have a unique license power, right? Because one's with one and one's with the other, and Panini's got sports, and boom, you got billion-dollar industries. Boom, boom, boom. That is what I can see coming. And I say that because if it happened, oh, Ziggy, is it wrong? It's not illegal. And it sure be damn good business, man. I mean, let me tell you, as a businessman, it's Bezos like, right? And owning the Amazon from point A to point B, the entire life cycle of the chain, owning the Amazon Web Server. It's a dominant play. And in sports cards, no more dominant play than owning from license to creation of product to the securing of the quality of the product and a grading, and then to high-end sales of the product. Then they could golden auction could sell allocations, right? Is the future there? Right? Amazing. And that's why I'm saying maybe I need to start looking at this more as it's a business. Business is happening. And that's not a bad thing. Maybe it's just an evolving business. I think the hobby is not a hobby anymore. Is that a aha moment? I don't know. I will say, so while I have this video up here, I want to point out, as I listened to this morning, Jeremy is the most optimistic person. And he did have, I forget this gentleman's name here, agreeing with him. He's just so optimistic on there's nothing to be concerned about with this. There's nothing to be concerned about this. And again, it's not a concern, like I said, about them doing anything corrupt. I don't see Nate going and get Nat going and getting his cards graded PSA 10s and putting them on PSA because he's trying to get the biggest amount of money. I don't see that. But I do see things, like I said, if you want a path to getting a PSA 10, it's buy the box, do it on Golden Show, get Golden support on PSA grading. You get this one path that's easy for the user, and it's going to put pressure on others to compete. Oh, my dog's going to start barking right now. Groot and Sandy. Groot, come here now. Sandy, come here now. Sandy, come here. Sorry, guys. Sandy. Groot, stay. Come here. Come here, Groot. Groot, come here. Oh, man. I don't know if I can hold him back. Sandy. Sorry for yelling at you guys. At my dad's house, and the neighbor's dogs, my dogs and their dogs, they talk a lot in very loud terms instead of communicating nicely. Thanks, Sandy, for telling me, but you could be good and stay here. Okay, so I'm going to say at this point, I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm also going to spend my money the way I want to spend it. I'm probably not going to be investing anymore with PSA. I'm going to be I have PSA cards. They'll be coming back to me, but I'm probably not going to be shipping off to PSA. Just my personal thing. I think I'm going to use other grading companies for other reasons. I also think that I have no interest right now in using Golden Auction, but I would tell you I'm a small dog guy, so I'd probably deliberately pick somebody else besides Golden if I was going to use an auction house, just because I'm cheering kind of for the other guy right now. That's just my opinion of that space. The other video I want to share with you was, again, this is a cage video where he kind of inspired me. I will say I am logged in here with my I'll be watching tonight on Sports Cards Live, and I believe my new alias, Sports and Collectible NFTs, has been blocked on Jeremy's show as well, which bums me out. You guys can confirm. I put a comment here on Ben Carlos's comment on his channel, on his video from last week, his After Hours, and see if you can read my comment. I don't think you can see it anymore. I think it's gone, which bums me out. So I wanted to be involved. I was going to kind of listen in on the Tim and ComC, but I really wanted to be involved in breakout conversation tonight. So I might reveal my third alias secretly tonight. And I will say it will be secretively. I will not tell you who I am when I use it. It will be completely random. I won't tell you in the future. I have to now. I'm going to have to use an anonymity to in order to participate. And again, my goal is not to troll anybody. I want to positively impact and make shows better and ask questions and help push things to in the right way. And anyway, so look for that tonight. I am going to be watching at 10 o'clock and 12 o'clock. So do check that out. What else did I want to show you? So quick other things here. If you Google, Nate Turner and Steve Cohen, you're going to get billionaire Steve Cohen and Nate Turner. And this is the acquisition of, I think it was CSG, PSA, I mean. And then here you got, again, buying Golden Auction. This 2 days ago, right? So that was when they bought. But both their names come up both times. Now, I'm going to ask yourself, if that name was Jeff Wilson and Steve Cohen, how would you feel? Would that make your opinion any different? Wouldn't make my opinion any different. I'd still be just equally as upset going, what the hell is going on, man? Because if you Google more on Steve here, Steve settles with SEC. There's some scandal with the SEC. I didn't read all the details here. You can check this out, but there's some scandal here where he settled with the SEC. And I only say that because Jeff is a Florida fan, so he's an SEC guy. So if you saw an SEC guy with an SEC scandal, wouldn't you be like, oh, I don't know, I don't trust them? Right? I know I would be a little less trusting. And then there's a thing here with the Feds chasing Steven with this hedge fund. And again, all I'm going to say is Steven's not a collector. But he's the guy behind this stuff, dude. He is the Jim Bezos of sports cards. He's looking at this whole supply chain and going, so let me get this right. It's unregulated. And they print little pieces of paper. And they sell for up to, think about this. Think about this. If you owned the production of the card to the auction house, and give me an example, if I could control a Prism 1 of 1 of Zion Williams' black rookie card, from the time it is created, the time that it is shipped, to where it is pulled, broke, to where I can purchase it, so I can have it graded and sold in my auction house. What is the factor of wealth from that production point to the end point there? You see what I'm saying? Think about that, man. You're taking piece of paper and cardboard and literally changing it probably 1,000,000x. It's got to be more lucrative than drugs are. More lucrative than heroin, meth, crack, whatever it is. I think there's more money being made if you can control the supply chain from production to high-end sale of a product like sports cards. You are in huge money. And I don't blame a billionaire for looking at this marketplace and going, wow. And no one's watching what's going on there? Yeah, let me buy some of that. Let me get some of that. Okay, so let me pop out of this. Go back to my audience here about 40 minutes and see who's there. See if my conspiracy hat's going crazy here in everybody's head. Where were we last? Where was I last? I think it's LA was where we were. What's up, LA? Okay, so just to summarize for anybody just joined the show, my opinion of the NAT acquisition, I'm just surprised. Really won't affect me immediately. Could care less. I see ways I could profit from it. I just said it several times. Is it something I'd be concerned about? It's not necessarily it's about the reaction, the defensive posture other companies take. It's about what happens next. What is the next monopoly? When does it stop? Where's the regulator? Who says enough's enough? Those are my concerns. Examples of where I see the market could be is that, let's say Panini, we hear is up for sale or talking to get bought. What if Nat and Cohen's a billionaire, goes, shit, just buy Panini, man. Right? Again, wouldn't Nat just love to own basketball, dude? And again, he would sell it to Jeremy and team by saying, as a collector, I want to expand the PMG to the Prism portfolio. I mean, whatever you want to say, as a collector, even I think I'd like that, dude. If he was running Panini, I don't know. I'd also say right now, with everything going on, I am very bullish on the NFT market space right now. And that's just me. So don't do NFTs. Do not do them. They are a complete waste of time and money. Stay away from NFTs. Specifically, stay away from the Prism NFTs and Panini. Do not even go near the website anytime this week. Do not go there on Monday or Wednesday or Friday at 11 p.m. Do not get in line and take up one of the few packs that will be. Do not do that. Stay out of it. It's not for you. Focus on the card market. But think about that, man. Think about that. Wow. Anyway, I'm babbling. Hi, all. Hey, LA. Hey, Tom. Toss by Panini. Won't see it happen. That's not a positive way for them to grow. Like, and what I mean by that is, in my market, oh, my back hurts. In my market space, competitors need each other. If there's only one massive competitor, then the market kind of gets too much light on it, right? So Topps and Panini and Upper Deck can all complain, can cooperatively sell. There's no monopolies here. We all collectively have one license each. But if Panini bought Topps and Upper Deck's looking there and Leafer looking there, they're going, what the heck? And that would not be good for the marketplace. I mean, that would be terrible. And again, I don't think they would do that. If they did that, oh my gosh, that'd be so funny. Michael, you called it then if it happens. I'll just say that. I think the bigger play is I think Panini gets purchased by eBay. Panini and Beckett. Panini and you know who else has got to be bought next? Okay, let me just call it right now. July 3rd, one of the data companies is going to get bought. One of the data companies gets bought. Now, who is it first? Will it be Card Ladder or will it be Market Movers? I see either one could get bought in the next 12 months. I would actually say before the end of the year, I'm going to say one of them gets bought. Yeah. Yeah. And I'll be honest, I think either one of them is a good complement to many portfolios, right? I think that makes it better. Like if I'm PSA, I would buy Market Movers or Card Ladder to have that tool with my PSA set and registry, whatever. Right? I'm just saying I think that's not a big play either. What's big about it? Here's what's big about that is it's actually a product that came from nowhere. Like it's been there. Data's been available through eBay's Terapeak forever. You could build this damn product. Anybody could have done this. But if you guys did build businesses around it, they created data tools, and they're going to turn what was a business of $0 into probably, I don't know, a couple $1 million marketplace. I have no idea. And they're probably going to cash out when they get acquired for millions. I could see Jeff doing it as a businessman. He's not going to do this forever. He might find a reason to sell out or whatever. So I could see that happening. But I also could see Chris and Josh doing the same thing, right? I mean, they can't be in this for the long haul. I think they might have a harder time selling it because they are really a lot of the business. Where Jeff, I think he could easily sell it as a businessman. He's created that business unit. He's even created the infrastructure and the people, the product management team. It is a software company. He could easily sell that and walk away. I don't know enough about Card Hedger. Slab Stocks, I don't see them selling theirs, but you never know. But check that out. Keep that on your radar. Wouldn't surprise you. Being in the meeting and seeing what Hasbro Suits is doing with the meeting. You're right. See, you've been in some of those meetings. Agreed. I will say that I think the NFT space, I really like what I just said it already. I'm not going to talk about it. Don't do it. Never mind. I want to buy Panini. Can we sell pieces like we do with cards? That would be fun. You know what? Another thing I was thinking about Panini, if you're listening, why not you let me turn my redemptions in for wax, right? And give me retail wax. You make enough of it. No one's going to miss it. You don't just give me a hobby box. But instead of giving me an auto that I can't get because the guy won't sign the paperwork, send me a blaster box of Prism or a blaster box of Select or a good product. Or send me hey, enroll me in something. Also, I don't want to encourage them to create a subscription system, but maybe create a subscription system like, the Montgomery Club. What's this one? They're not competing now. They just total licensing. I think some China company will buy Panini. You think a China company will buy Panini? Would that be good or bad? They are an international company. I don't think it would be, though. I don't. It'd be interesting. That'd be interesting. I don't know what's going to happen, but the fact that was talked about, I think that's interesting news. Disney and Panini, not a bad call. Not a bad call at all. I mean, ESPN, they're getting involved a little bit in sports cards, right? And Panini has a dominant market space there. Ah, man, that's not a bad one either. That's a pretty good one, Tom. I'm not going to argue that one. That's a really good one. eBay closes API before the merger with market movers. Card ladder can close its API before merger with market movers and card ladder. Yeah, but I'll say they make too much money selling the data. They do it. They wouldn't. They can't exclude it from a part from somebody legally. You know what I'm saying? They can't target. Go. We're not giving it this company. So they either sell their data or they don't. And they sell it to far more people than just a couple of guys in the sports card world. So they're going to continue to sell their data to market movers and card ladder. I don't think they would close their API up. They would charge more for it or change the pricing on it. I also think there's a market for registry of pricing data, right? Of price scraping. And I'm talking about price scraping in so many ways. You know, there's spiders that crawl the web to do web searches. There could be spiders that crawl Facebook groups, Instagram groups, other third-party market spaces, and would gather sales data. That would be an excellent, thing to add to a registry service or a data collection service. And then with that data, that's scraped, collect serial number data, right? What's this? How many serial number cards of the Gold Prism, LaMelo balls have been pulled, right? How many? Is the 8, the 9? Is the 3 still out there? Is the 2 out there? What ones are out there? So that'd be cool to see. Remember when you sent in UPCs rewards or products only offered? I do remember this. UPCs for rewards. In fact, I'll tell you, it's funny you say that. They actually did this back in 2017. Wow. You could check this. If I'm not mistaken, in 2017, they did these in the Donruss product, the redemption packs. You had to turn in, there was some reason they did this, but if you turned in a full box, which I think was 24 packs, you got one redemption pack. And I remember I got like 5, or maybe I got more than that. Maybe I got 12. I got a bunch of redemption packs. And each redemption pack had in it a Tani, I want to say Acuna, a Torres, and maybe, I can't remember who the fourth one was. But they all had really good rookies in it from that year. Was it 18 Donruss or 19 redemption? It was similar to the UPCs because you had to send in the UPC, you had to send in the redemption, the wrappers. And what here's the big deal was, I don't think it was publicized enough, and a lot of people got upset because the breakers, they're ripping through the product, they're keeping the UPCs, and they got the packs. The consumers didn't get the packs, so some of them were upset about it. I remember I deliberately went out and bought my own boxes and my own half a case, and I want to say it was Ohtani's rookie year. I want to say I bought a case, and I want to say I pulled an Ohtani rookie autograph in that case of Donruss baseball. And I remember buying that thinking to myself, I hate Donruss baseball. It's the worst baseball to buy because it's unlicensed, but it was cheap and it was Ohtani. And I made my money on that rookie. I sold the rookie autograph, I think, for more than I bought the case for, or the half case. I think I bought a half case now that I think about it. Like Marble Miles, yep. I agree. Do the same thing with redemptions, right? Give them points. Well, they do a point system, but the point system sucks. Give me points so I can buy a retail product. Okay. So I'm going to close with this. My last comments, and then I'm going to shut down for the night. Where are we going? I asked you, are you proud of where we are in the hobby? Well, here's my thoughts. I heard, again, Jeremy on a hobby hotline talk about, there's enough people watching the hobby. There's people who take care of the hobby. Don't worry about the hobby. Just be cautiously optimistic. Where is that group? And when do they meet? And what are their rules? Who is policing the hobby? And what are the rules? What are they doing? What do they say you can and can't do? What's the line? Where's the fence? What's okay? What's not okay? Is it all about money? Is it really just like, look, dude, maximize your profits, shut up and have a good day? Do an honest job. I don't know. What are the rules? Maybe we should have that conference, that convention. I know the National's going on. I think it'd be a great time to be organize that and simply just say, maybe there's a great opportunity for united from collectors or for hobbyists or people who care about the hobby to get a united voice to simply say things like, hey, we think there should be grading standards, right? We think there should be card printing standards, okay? We think there should be a registry for numbered cards pulled so we know when the hot big cards are pulled. I think information should be publicly shared. I think print runs should be shared. That's going to be hard to argue, but there's certain things I think we could argue in a community that, hey, let's ask for this, let's ask for that, or give some guidance on what should be best rules. In fact, for example, I heard about Leaf coming out with the ARC, the Amateur Rookie Card. So what is the rule with that? Should we accept that? Should others be able to do that? Did they corner the market on that? And let me ask you this: if it's not us in the community, does it stay Wild West like this and just, hey man, maximize it, have a good time, don't get hurt, keep your head down, move slowly in the sports card marketplace, duck? Or does a government or somebody come in and regulate this? And how would they start by regulating it? Like, in my opinion, if the government was going to regulate this market space, the first thing would be is maybe on stopping the counterfeiting and the corruption on the sales side, right? So maybe having a registry of graded cards that had to track buying and selling, right? Maybe more chain of custody. Also, maybe more standards on the specs of a card, right? The length, width, the depth, the thickness of cards is important, right? I've heard about people squishing cards. Maybe that'd be regulated. Maybe grading standards would be regulated. The government would have certain standards like they do with alcohol proofing. Maybe there'd be grading proofing. If a card is going to be graded at a gem mint, it must meet the following requirements. If a card is going to be a mint standard, it must meet the following requirements. Maybe that's a regulation that could come in. If you regulated that, and I'd also say another area you would regulate would be in the production. And again, I know the card companies don't want that. They wouldn't want the government coming in and saying, hey, like, I wonder, does the government control how many beer cans Anheuser-Busch can make? I do think they have some control at the state level in certain states. But imagine if the government came in and said, I'm going to control how many sports cards you make for each product line. I don't think we want to get there, right? I don't think I'd want that. Maybe they gave some guidance on, hey, you're going to make this number of products, right? Or you must disclose this much of your print run, right? That you're going to have this many numbered cards and this many autographs, and maybe have a confirmation service, a third-party auditing that audits that those hits were actually pulled and or that product still exists in the marketplace, right? Maybe have products being tracked too, so that when a product is purchased, we know what distributor it went to and where it's sitting, if it's on the shelf. And then, at the consumer level, you probably can't track it any further, but at least you know, hey, it was at Bob's local store. It's sitting in the back, and that's the box that has the Luca Prism in it. That's one of one or whatever. Or that his store sold it. So maybe tracking like you do with lotto tickets and lotto numbers, right? They know, for example, if a block of scratch off lotto tickets is stolen from a store, the store can tell the lotto staff what stack that was, because the store knows how many stacks it had. The lotto store knows which one's registered. There's tracking of that lotto. And sports cards are very similar to lotto, so maybe they start tracking that, right? Because again, there's odds on lotto, maybe there's odds on sports cards. So those are areas where I think you could see regulation. And is that what we want? Would that be good? I think it would be. I don't know. Okay, so think about those things. I'd love to get your thoughts. I'm going to go ahead and close up. I'm almost at an hour on this live. I do appreciate the comments. There's a reason these companies like PSA, Gold, and Panini want to maximize profits. Is good because the hobby is dead for almost 20 years. Oh, and you're not wrong. You're absolutely right. I mean, you're right. Some of these companies like PSA has been sleeping on, dude, we've just been grading cards. Oh, you mean it's worth money now? It's worth a lot of money? Hold on, a Jordan is worth what? So that probably did spur them to go, hey, you're right. I'm going to change. I'm going to cash out. I'm going to liquidate right now. Collectors United, standards and ethics. Again, the Standard Oil was a very profitable company, and there was a reason they became Standard Oil. Microsoft, very, very powerful company. There's a reason they became Microsoft, right? Amazon, very, very powerful company. There's a reason they became Amazon. The people that think the average person is going to spend thousands on cards is leisure in the market, well, eventually there's interest and go back to what it was. I agree. Well, you're right in the sense that, first of all, I don't think the average person was. I think a lot of it got into it because they had money they were making. Like the average person got in small, and that small amount of money made a lot of money for them. And then they took that large amount of money, they were house money, and they gambled it bigger than they should have. You're right. And I agree with you that the market's going to correct because there's too many products and not enough consumers. There's going to be too much retail. With football, there's going to be too much football. As good as this class is going to be, there's going to be too much of it this year. There's already going to be too much basketball for next year, and they haven't even started to print that stuff yet. And that's all going to eventually going to collapse. And if Panini's looking to sell, then heck, they're going to build that pipeline looking as good as it can be for the next year, right? They're going to say, we got all these product releases. Look at our growth's been 50, 60%. We're going to blow the doors off this thing. Like, I do not want to be the buyer of Panini who buys this company. There's no protection. Your only protection is educate yourself. Making an action to stop being a sheep degrading. What is so wrong with buying raw? I agree with you, man. I agree with you. I tell you, the reason for that, the reason people grade is because if you and I want to sell or trade raw cards with each other, you and I are friends and we can go meet each other and do that. But if you do it online, there's two people take advantage of people in raw. They lie to them. They're mischievous. They don't disclose stuff. And that's why you need a third party to give an opinion, a grade of what the condition is, unfortunately. That's why I do think the market being open with graders is good. I don't care there's lots of graders. I just want a third party to tell me the condition of this card's very good. So when I buy it, I feel like it's very good. Cards have been around. They'll be around. Oh, I agree with you. That's another thing too, Tom. They will be around for a long time. They will survive. They're not going to go anywhere. The market will close and expand and close and expand and close. I do think that as you move forward, there will be those who will go into the NFT space though, because I think cryptocurrency is a big marketplace that's been growing, and cryptocurrency and NFTs have some great overlap. So I think NFTs have a strength there. And I'm not talking about Gary V NFTs. I'm talking about licensed sports NFTs. I think those have viability. Lotto also put, my throat is dying. I need a beverage, and I don't see anything around me. I'm going to kill this. I wish I could talk. Very, very true. Look, guys, I'm gonna cash out and take my chips. Thank you all for joining tonight, man. Wow. See, everything's got counterfeits in it, man. Yep, I agree with you. Card shows are important for building relationships. They are. So are Facebook groups. I'm a big fan of Facebook groups, guys, because you have to vet people all over the place, and other people vet them who live with them locally. It's a good community. I'm a big fan of the Facebook groups. Man, thank you, Tom. Really appreciate it. Hey, guys, have a wonderful weekend. I will say my plan is to be live tomorrow night at 9 p.m. The mic will be open. I will be blabbing on again. Probably talk about something different. Try to find a lighter topic to talk about. Maybe make a little fun of something. I don't know. Respond to the audience. I really want to be dynamic. 2 over 10s. I did drop a video tonight on my other channel, and I'll just again remind you that we use that sports cards and collectible NFTs. That's another channel. I'm doing NFT stuff, and I did one on the Prism NFTs on that video. And then, like I said, I'll be watching at 10 o'clock and at midnight tonight. I'll be watching Sports Cards Live. Jeremy, I really wish you the best, man. I wish you peace. I don't want to raise your blood pressure, man. I really wish you and I would talk. I know we spoke briefly for a moment. I'd like to talk to you again. I'd love to just have a communication, man. I think we get along. I think we have more in common than we have, not in common. So I'll be on your show tonight. I'll be using my new alias, though. Dude, thank you. Thank you. He did today, dude. It was funny. Thank you for your comments. I was annoyed by that on Hobby Hotline. I kept asking questions, saying stuff, and Jeremy was just ignoring me. And Jeremy did that on Beckett Media. I understand. He just doesn't like me. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why. But I think at a certain point, you've got to, if anything, welcome me as an adversary to you, right? Or whatever. Hey, I don't always agree with Ziggy, but, ignoring it's just kind of childish. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it right now. Thank you, dude. Have a happy, wonderful, fantastic end of the weekend. See you guys tomorrow night, 9 p.m. and then every day next week. Boom.